Welcome. My name's Amy Engelmark, and I am the creator of the Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life program. That's the name of this webinar that you're watching right now. Welcome to you who are joining us live. Welcome to you who are watching the replay. The name of this webinar is Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life, and I'm super excited, super pumped to be on here live with you today. So if you are joining us on this webinar today, please put your name and where you're from in the chat room here to your right, and we can connect. And it's just so fun on a webinar to know who's on, where you're from. I'm just going to take a drink while you all are logging on here. Great to see you joining us. All right, you can find out more info about me if you want to find out what these webinars are all about. It's my website is amyengelmark.com. You can find out about my programs there, who I am, my background. You know, if you are an entrepreneur, you're in the right place on these webinars. If you are a business leader of some sort, maybe you're in corporate, maybe you are a leader in your community, maybe you're a leader in your home. There's many places where you can be a leader. You're in the right place here. It could be that you are struggling with your time management. You're struggling with stress, and you need to learn how to let go of control and trust that you're being taken care of, that you're in the right place at the right time. And if so, if that sounds like you, you're also in the right place to watch and listen to this webinar today. So I want to let you know that there will be some free goodies that I give away at the end of this call today. I have a journal here. It's called Enjoy the Little Things. And today's topic really ties in with this journal. If you watch to the end and you are live on this webinar, then if you answer the question at the end of the webinar, I'm going to send this to your door or to your mailbox, and you should receive it within about a week. The reason that I really promote writing is because it gets you out of your head and gets your thoughts onto paper, which brings a lot of clarity. And these journals specifically are meant for you to refocus your thoughts on healthy things, things that are going to bring you energy and life instead of make you feel stripped of it. So again, this is for you. If you stay on, you're live, and you answer the question that I ask at the end of the call, if you're the first person to answer. If you are just joining us now and you've missed the beginning, please do put your name and where you're from in the chat box. All right, let's hop in. Today's webinar training is all about being able to change negative thoughts to empowering, healthy, helpful thoughts, to get out of negative mental ruts. So I'm going to share my screen with you. So just give me 1 second here. Okay, so like I said, this webinar training is called Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life. They happen every week on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. and they're all recorded. If you can't make it live, you sign up and you'll still be sent the replay. They're focused on helping you create time for yourself so that you can learn how to conquer stress in your life and really create the best year yet for yourself in 2016. Here's me. This is a little bit about what we cover. I help you focus on life balance and creating time and stress management skills that you might need honing, or you might need a lot of work in your life. These webinars are for people who are dealing with high caseloads, a lot of responsibility. Maybe they're managing teams and you just feel like you've reached the end of your rope and you need some mentoring and support. That is what you will access and what I offer these webinars. They are live and they're weekly. So I do present in person. These webinars are obviously online. This is me in person with some of the groups that I've spoken for. So stick around for those free goodies. The journal that I have to give today, it's beautiful and you're so going to enjoy writing in it and focusing on what's going well for you instead of focusing on the negative. So my promise for you today as a very busy professional is that you can have it all. You can have the freedom and the health, the stress-free life, the relationship that you want, the ability to have the time and finances to travel. You can have all of that at the same time. You're going to come away today with a fabulous system I've used in my life and use right now that my clients use to help them decrease their stress. And I'll show you the habits that you need to develop if you want to develop a firm, strong foundation in your life so that you can have more fun and more freedom. Don't we all want that? These are some of the things you're going to discover. You're going to discover some stress management strategies that, if you implement, will really help you shift things in your life in the next month. I'm going to show you how you can get new results in areas of your life where you may have felt stuck in the past. We're going to cover topics that are really going to help you create breakthroughs. Help you overcome areas of your life where you've been stuck in fear or self-doubt and you've let your thoughts overcome you instead of taking control of them. This webinar is created for you to have a breakthrough. I teach on the importance of mastering your emotions and your mindset if you really want to live a life of integrity. When you live a life of integrity, you feel good about your decisions. And then I'll help you get really clear on the goals that you want to achieve and what steps you'll need to start taking in order to prioritize your goals. Here is me with long hair and a little bit about me. I'm the author of the upcoming book, From Burnt Out to Bliss. It's a 30-day challenge for high achievers. It is going to help you transform how you manage your time, transform how you respond to stress instead of react. It's for people who are balancing a lot and need to have better life balance, need to feel like you can let your shoulders down. I'm actually going to give all of you, even those who are not live on this call, access to the first 2 chapters of the e-version of my book. So I will post that link here at the end of the call as well. So my background, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm a self-care expert, I'm a stress management consultant, and I'm a professional speaker. I work with executives, women and men who are ready to really kickstart their health and start dealing with stress more effectively so they can be more productive. You can find out more at amyengelmark.com. I've hosted workshops live as well as online. I run group coaching programs with clients from all over North America. I've used the systems in my own life. You know, while I balance my role as mom and wife and businesswoman, friend, just woman, I use the systems that I teach and they work. So I'm going to show you what it is that works for me. Here's a little bit about me. Here's me speaking. So my past includes speaking for banks and investing groups and caregivers and so many entrepreneurial groups that want to know how to become more productive and feel less stressed out, be able to manage their time like a pro. Those are some of the things I talk about. A little bit about me. I absolutely love spending time outside, and I love riding my bike. Our family spends a lot of time out in nature. Here's me and my boys, Gavin and Simon, out on more hikes. We try and get out as much as possible. Here's our family all together. We spend a lot of time on the West Coast. And that brings me to the topic of today's webinar, which is be able to free yourself from negative thoughts. It's a live webinar training that's free every week. So today's topic is freeing yourself from negative thoughts. Man, they can become such a trap that we fall into until we consciously are aware that we can do something about it and change how we feel. So grab your pen and paper. Make sure that you have a journal you can use for these webinars weekly. If you enjoy watching them weekly and you want to be able to look back on your notes to see areas of your life that you'd like to improve, you can apply the steps that I teach every week to your life and start seeing changes, which is very exciting. You don't want to feel stuck anymore. So one thing I really want to emphasize today is that you can choose, you do choose how you feel. And you choose how you feel because you're given free will. And therefore you're responsible for the thoughts that you allow in your head, whether they're healthy or whether they're toxic. You allow them in your own mind. And your thoughts can either limit you or free you up to experience life the way you'd like to live it. It's kind of a scary thought sometimes to think that we're responsible for the thoughts that are in our mind, for the thoughts that we allow in our mind. But it's important to know that we do have control and that we're not just responsible, but that we can change things. Because when we understand that our thoughts have a dramatic effect on how we see ourselves and how we see, like how we perceive our future and what's possible for us, then we can start taking action and change things. That's when things get really exciting. So just know that you have responsibility here in your own mind, and that your mood is highly linked to your thought life. You want to feel relaxed? Have a second look at the thoughts you're allowing in your mind if you don't feel relaxed. Do you want to feel confident? Maybe you want to feel like you want to step into a bigger pair of shoes and you want to pursue some dreams that just feel so wild and out there, but you haven't yet. Why not? Why aren't you giving yourself permission to have free time? To feel like you can put your feet up? To feel like you can spend more time with the people who matter to you? If this rings a bell, really take heart what I'm going to share today, because your thought life and taking control of it will really dramatically impact how you feel and what you believe is possible for yourself. I just love this topic. So this is what happens in our minds when a thought enters our minds. And it either leads to health or toxic thoughts. So first we engage with a certain thought. Let's engage with a negative thought. We think, oh my goodness, I've worked so hard for this specific outcome and it didn't show up the way I thought it was going to show up. It didn't materialize the way I thought it was going to materialize. And now I'm feeling like I'm a bit of a failure. Like, what went wrong there? Was it my fault, or what's happening here? So we're starting to engage with the negative thought. We're starting to allow it in our mind at that point. The more you engage and repeat the negative thought, the doubt, the fear, you are telling yourself that it could be the truth. and you start believing that it actually is the truth, the more you repeat that story in your thought life, in your brain. Then what happens is, in this case, it starts eroding a certain area of your mind. And it's scientifically proven that thoughts actually take up mental real estate in your mind. They are real things and can be seen when studying the mind. So they erode. A negative toxic thought will actually erode you as a person and create chaos inside yourself. Or if you don't choose to engage in a negative thought like that when it comes up, you choose to refocus your attention and thought life on something else that's healthy and brings you life, then you're taking your life into your own hands. You're regaining control of your mind, and you're creating new habits that are going to build your self-esteem up instead of tear you down. Woohoo! Here are some common negative beliefs that people have. They're sad to think about, but a lot of them are true for the vast majority of people. I'm a loser. And often why we think I'm a loser is because of our perception of ourselves in comparison to others. And I'm not good enough. And depending on how you've grown up, what you've believed in the past about yourself due to whatever, nature or nurture, you can start believing that you're not good enough. And then when you believe that, you're always striving to be someone else. You're always striving to be more instead of believing that I am enough, just the way that I am. Here's some more common negative beliefs. No one likes me. I suck at communication. I suck at being organized. I suck at managing my time. I'm a failure. Instead of I failed in that area of my life, you can start believing that you are actually the failure, which is a total lie. Or I don't deserve to have a great quality of life and wealth. That's not really spiritual. It's not a spiritual thing. It's not spiritually healthy to be wealthy. Or it's not spiritually healthy to want more. To want more means I'm greedy. All these negative beliefs are going to lead you down a road that goes downhill, or they're just going to keep you very, very confined and living a very small life. This is a testimonial of a physician friend of mine, past client, who was really stuck in some negative thought patterns. And her husband, after working with her for a few months, her husband actually wanted to sit in on one of our coaching sessions to find out what we were doing together, because she had changed so much. Her demeanor had changed from heavy and more self-loathing to bright and optimistic and energetic, because she had consciously worked on her thought life, and then her actions had followed suit, and that had brought new fruit in her life. So anything is possible when you decide to change. Here's some awesome news that you have control over your mind. It's so fabulous to think of that. So fabulous to think that we can change who we are. We can improve who we are, and that we've been given the power, the free will, and the choice to do that, to take that into our own control, take that into our own hands, and improve and expand and become more joyous. So exciting. So science proves that we can actually rewire our brains to expel fear, get rid of negativity, and promote growth in a healthy way in your brain, to promote a healthy thought life and cut off old ways of unhealthy thinking. So I want to share with you a few principles of neuroplasticity that I think are amazing and will be really helpful to you. So scientists are finding that 87 to 95%, that's a high number, high percentage of current mental, physical, emotional illnesses, that they're all coming from our thought life. 87 to 95% of mental, physical, and emotional illnesses come from our thought life. So there's some motivation, some fire under your butt to make some changes. You want to be super healthy in all areas of your life? Well, you can. You can. Yes. So good. So when your thoughts are chaotic, that chaos actually will reign in your physical body. Your thoughts actually look like trees in your brain. You can do your own research. They occupy mental real estate, as I was saying before. They are real entities, these little thoughts, tons and thousands of them in your brain. What do you want your brain to look like? So we can rewire our brains. We can change. Science has found that we are actually wired for love. So what does that mean? It means that we as people have learned to be fearful. We have actually learned to doubt. We have learned how to focus on the negative, and for some reason it's stuck, but it's definitely not helpful, as I'm sure many of you who are listening would agree. So I want to talk about how we can rewire ourselves so that we're operating from a place of health and happiness and feeling that way on a constant basis, feeling peaceful on a daily, minutely basis. I love making up new words. What happens, I'll tell you just a little bit about what happens when you have a negative thought and you start retraining your thought patterns to focus on the positive, the health-inducing thoughts, is oxytocin, serotonin, and a few other chemicals are actually released, and they coat the negative thought structure in your mind, and they start to melt it. Isn't that fantastic? What a picture. This is what you're doing when you decide to take control of your brain, take control of your thought life. You're actually creating new neural pathways and destroying the negative ones. Yes, amazing, so amazing. It's love expelling fear on a scientific level. So cool. This is one of my favorite quotes. Speak into life that which is not as though it was. So we are called to take control of our minds and to create something new even before we see it to be true. It means create with your words what you don't experience yet. Isn't that amazing to think that that's possible? For some of you, that might be a really big brain stretch right now, but stay with me. I want to share with you another testimonial. This is a client of mine who's a lawyer in Vancouver and is a super, super smart woman. She radically, she had radical changes from working with me and deciding to manage her life in a different and new way. Her perspective was so stuck on the thought that she had so much work to handle that she didn't have time for everything else that made her feel healthy and happy and nurtured in her relationships. And then as she changed her thought patterns with the tools and systems that I use with my clients, she felt like, oh my goodness, I am more than I thought I was. I'm way more capable of more than I thought I was. And then she adopted the belief that she could create free time. Even though she's massively, crazily busy, she decided she was going to take control of her time, take control of her thoughts, and take control of her life. And she was able to create amazing things for herself. I'm so happy to look at her life and see what she's created for herself now. If you haven't already been taking notes, now would be a time to start. Here are some steps for you to start rerouting your thoughts and taking steps to create new mental real estate, healthy thought patterns, new routes in your mind for your thoughts to travel on. So the first step is to visualize good and healthy things. So what do I mean by that? You know how we talked about, how I spoke about the common negative thoughts that some people have. I'm a loser. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve this. No one likes me. I'm a failure. Instead of kind of cementing those negative beliefs in yourself until you see yourself as a loser or a failure, take some time and start seeing yourself from a non-judgmental perspective. What's going to happen is that when you picture accepting yourself, you close your eyes, you think of yourself in the situation where you feel vulnerable or incapable or incompetent or weak. You think of yourself, you visualize yourself there, and then you start changing the picture. Who would you be if you weren't judging yourself? What would you be capable of? This is an exercise you can walk yourself through, or you can listen to the replay of this webinar, and I can coach you through the process. So if you want to do it right now, close your eyes. Who would you be if you weren't judging yourself? Who would you be? What would you be spending more time doing if you didn't listen to any of the fears or lies that have held you back until this point? What kind of health benefits would you be enjoying if you didn't limit yourself with your thoughts? So your ideal health, what would that feel like? What does that feel like right now in your body, in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit? And now I want you to expand that picture. I want you to see the smile on your face if you're smiling. I want you to see that your eyes are closed or restful. I want you to experience that warmth inside that's created when you notice joy. I want you to think about who you're with. Who are you spending time with when you're not judging yourself, when you believe that you are capable of great things, when you believe that you are worthy and deserving of all beautiful, abundant things? Who would you be spending time with? Make your picture really beautiful and bright. Add color to wherever you are. Maybe there's more sunshine. Enhance your picture of this view of yourself. How good does that feel to be that person? Doing those things, taking those steps, spending time with those kinds of people. To enhance this kind of visualization exercise, you can actually even make yourself and whoever is surrounding you, or the nature that's surrounding you, or whatever, bigger. You can make everything bigger and up close, like you're at a movie theater in the very front seat. And it allows you to experience it on a grander level. So that's the first step, is to visualize the good things. Spend your time and focus your thought life on visualizing the good things and the healthy things and your healthy version of yourself, and watch the negative lose its control over your life. Step 2 is to act as if you believe those thoughts. Act as if you believe that healthy version of yourself. Act as if you believe it could be possible. So if you were acting as if you believe that you are valuable, how would you be taking different steps in life? How would you act if you believed you were worthy of experiencing depth and great connection in your relationships. Not just success in your business life or career, but also depth and an ample amount of time with others. If you believed that you were worthy and deserving of that, how would you be acting differently? If you felt you were worthy of having the life you want, what action might you take this week even? So that's the second step. Act as if you believe you are valuable, or as if you believe you are able to communicate effectively in a healthy way. When you believe that you're able or capable of all of these things, it changes who you show up as. Let's move on to the third step. So the third step is kind of getting into the nitty-gritty. It's developing counter statements to the negative thoughts you were thinking and then speaking them into life. So we go back to that quote that I brought up: speak into life that which is not as though it were. So here are some examples I want to give you of counter statements that you can speak into life. I believe in myself. This is a great one. I'm capable of blah, 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 fill in the blank. I can handle whatever comes my way. So many people handle the worst case scenario all the time. I'm good at showing love. I don't worry about everyday life. God knows my needs and meets them as I focus on Him first. I know that some of you might not believe in God that are watching this, and you're just interested in your thoughts. But hey, I don't believe that we're just mental, emotional, and physical beings. I believe we definitely are spiritual as well. That's my personal belief. So there's some spiritual beliefs that you can incorporate into your thought life as well. God gives me the strength even when I'm feeling tired or weary, and increases my power even when I'm feeling weak. Who wants to feel strong even when you feel weak? I do. Put your hand up. As I give up control and release my life to God and allow Jesus to live through me, God frickin' size things happen. Don't believe any single little lie that God's plans for you are small. There is a plan for your life that is going to blow your socks off. And you are living it right now. And greater things are still going to come for you. So if any of these truths really speak to you, this is what you want to do. You want to be speaking this truth out loud over yourself. Obviously, it may not be something you want to naturally do in front of others. Maybe you do. That's fine. It just depends on your comfort level. You can say it in your brain, but I would encourage you to say it out loud. It changes how you feel, it changes who you are, and it changes your brain chemistry. Super cool. So how long are you going to wait to do something about your thought life? Because there is no perfect timing. I would encourage you not to procrastinate and to take action and put some of these steps I've shared into practice. When you have support and accountability and mentorship, so much more is possible than if you are walking life by yourself. I want you to get really clear on what is it costing you to stay where you're at, to stay in negative thought cycles that have become habits instead of taking action and changing them and doing something about your current circumstances. You know, if 87 to 95% of all emotional, mental, and physical illnesses come from our thought life, you are not going to want to end up in the hospital. You're not going to want to end up with a heart attack, or maybe you've already had a heart attack. You don't want to end up with shingles or anxiety disorder. You know, all of these things can be related to the stress that comes from your thought life. You don't want to endure what it could cost you. and what it could cost your family. Because not only will you feel negative if you allow negative thoughts to control you, but you're going to be a more negative person around those that you care the most for. You're not going to be able to be the leader you want to be for your team unless you take care and clean up your thought life. You have a big choice, and it is your responsibility, but it's great to know that you have a choice, free will. You're able to do something about changing how you feel by working on your thoughts. So what would it mean if you took some action steps, you put these things to work, and you created more time for yourself, more balance for yourself, you became less stressed, and you transformed your thoughts? You started changing what's going on in your brain. What would be possible in the next 30 days for you if you took those action steps? It would really start changing a lot of the things in your life that you're experiencing right now and just kind of putting up with, because maybe you're afraid of fear, or maybe you're afraid of change, but you don't have to be. So my invitation for you is to create some beautiful life balance so that you can see your family more, you can have fun more, you can have better health. In the next 30 to 60 days, you can create a lot for yourself. I want to help you be able to conquer your stress. I want to help you be able to kickstart your health to a level that makes you feel amazing. And this is something that I do all the time with my private clients. I'm working with someone right now whose health over the past 2 to 3 years has really gone downhill because he's been so preoccupied with building a level of excellence in his team at work that he has let himself and his own needs slide to the back burner, and they've actually slid off until he started working with me, learning ways to take care of his health again, to prioritize himself so that he has better stress management skills. It is possible. I have the best program for you to help in these areas, and it's called Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life. And I want to tell you a little bit about it. So this program is for you if you're someone who is a high achiever, you're very busy, you're balancing a lot, and working on your own self-growth is really important to you because you know that you need to have more free time or things are not going to turn out well for you. You know you need to be able to deal with your stress better and respond instead of react more often than not. You know you need to spend more time taking care of these details because otherwise your marriage or your relationship or your ability to parent like a pro is going to suffer. So this is for you. If you're an entrepreneur, you're at any type of corporate executive, you're a mompreneur, you are an action taker, high achiever, and you're ready for change. It's an exclusive 6-month-long program where every month I offer one-to-one group coaching. One-to-one private coaching. And we get really clear on where you need to take action every month, where you might be held back and limiting yourself, and how to move over the obstacles and create a plan that's simple to follow and very straightforward until our next coaching session the following month. Then in the group, there's obviously group coaching, and it's over the phone as well. We meet every week for an hour, and there's ample time for Q&A. So whatever you're working on in your life where you want accountability and mentorship, you want to bounce things off of other people who are all on the same journey, that's what those calls are for. There is a private members area that I do a lot of coaching in between group calls. So I'm on there every day, answering questions, pointing you in the right direction, giving you support. The accountability is massive in this group and very helpful. That's what a lot of the members tell me, is that being able to connect with me and the other people in the group is priceless because they stay on track towards their goals. You also are going to be able to have access to the modules in the 6-month program. So they're audio, video, and worksheet training material that you can print out. We cover this material every month, and you also can deepen your learning by accessing all of those modules. The focus of the program is teaching you how to transform your beliefs so that you can become more productive, you can create more free time for yourself, you can have amazing health, you can travel with your family, travel with friends, see the people that matter to you more, and have more fun. So a lot of people that are in this program, they're learning how to let go of control and be able to delegate more, which is a major way to free up your time. That's what this training and this program is all about. So I encourage you to go to my website, amyengelmark.com/about. That is going to show you everything you need to know about my program. And if you have any other questions, I am always here to answer them. And I've decided that I am putting aside an hour or so over the next week to help you figure out what you need to put in order, what you need to put in line in order for you to have the lifestyle that you want to have. Figure out where you're being held back, where there's friction in your life, and how to overcome and look at things from a new perspective so you can move forward. So I'll personally walk you through what you need to do, the action steps you need to put into place, and help you get very, very clear and move other priorities aside so that they're not holding you back anymore, so that you can start to get the results that you want to see in your life. And it's totally free, this hour with me. If you feel called, you feel like, yeah, Amy and I might be a really good fit together, and I know I need to take action now. I've been putting it off for too long. I invite you to apply today. So you can apply at amyengelmark.com/about, and you'll see the application form there. Right now, I am going to give you the link to my, you see here, I might have to minimize this. The link to my 2 free chapters so that you can all see it. 1 second here as I do that. You may end up seeing me while I get the 2 free chapters ready for you. And if you need to contact me, you have questions about the application there, or you have questions about the program, then I'll give you my email as well. So there is, oh, hi, Elisa. I'm glad you could be here on the call. I didn't see you join until I was already teaching. So, Elisa, and anyone else who is on the webinar, I'm going to ask you this question here and see if you can get it right. See if you can tell me the right answer. Where does the majority of my family live? My extended family. Where does the majority of my family live? Does anyone know? I have a few family members who don't live in this area, but most of them live in the area that I'm asking you about. So does anyone know? And if you don't know, you can take a guess. And if not, no worries. You can answer a question the next webinar and get something free then. Let's take a sip of water. Thank you so much for joining me live. Thank you so much for listening to and watching the replay. And do take advantage of my offer if you are ready to change your life, if you are ready to take control of your thoughts and create some new results for yourself. I invite you to click on that link. And I'm also going to put my email there in the chat bar as well. Okay, I'll see you all next week. Thanks for joining me, and have a wonderful Wednesday and rest of your week. Bye-bye.